Hi, Mr. Andrew here, and today we're going to be combining like terms. So before you, I have a polynomial, and this appears to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms, and the terms are again split up by these pluses and minuses. Now, some terms are what we call alike, meaning I see an a squared here. Some of them are not alike. I would not call a squared alike with a. Even though they both contain an a, they do not contain the same exponent. So like terms both had to have the same variable and the same exponent. And if it's a series of variables and exponents, they all have to be the same. The only things that can be different are their coefficients, or the number in front. Now here, if we have an a squared, I see an a squared here. I'm just going to underline them twice because they're squareds. Just no mathematical reason to that, just I prefer that. Now here, I have all my a squareds underlined twice. And that's just to help my eye break this apart and to distinguish that I have a couple a squareds here, and I'm actually going to put them together. But before I do that, I'm going to rewrite them. Because as we learned in a previous section, that the commutative property of addition. So I can actually rearrange if I keep their signs with them. So here, 3a squared minus a squared. I can rearrange them because of the commutative property. It doesn't matter in which order I add things, but if they have a minus in front of them, I have to keep that minus with them. That's their sign. Okay. Now here, I'm going to have some a's, some just plain a's, no squareds or cubes or any other power on them. So I see them, and I'm just going to underline them once. Help break it up. And this is not really a necessary thing, but for those beginning to do this, it really kind of helps. So here we can have plus 2a, keeping their signs with minus 3a. And now, really, we've kind of ran out of underlines because we have what we call constants, those that do not have variables. And so I'm just going to circle them, being sure to circle their signs with them. So I'm just going to have a plus 5 and a plus 2. So now that we have them grouped together by like terms, let's go ahead and combine them. So here, 3a squared minus a squared. Now this minus a squared, we can say this has a coefficient of technically -1 if I wanted to write it in, not necessary. But if I don't show a coefficient, it's understood to be 1. Plus or minus, if I don't show a coefficient, it's understood to be 1. So here I have 3 minus 1, which is 2, and they're a squareds. Now here I have plus 2a minus 3a, and that is -1, so I'm going to actually have a negative a, again because I don't show the coefficient of 1, even though I wrote it in here. To show it appropriately for my final answer, I don't want to have that 1 written in. Now here, plus 5 plus 2, I add those together and that's 7. Now, the first instinct is I have 3 things here. Surely I can put them together. But really I can't. I can't put together this a squared, I can't put together this a, and I can't put together this 7. They are not like terms. So the keys to understanding this are what are like terms, and then you want to rearrange it so they're together, and then you put them together. Okay. Thanks for listening.